Hello, my name is Suska. I am an artist, a painter, living the bohemian life in a refurbished warehouse in California. Well, until my mom was diagnosed with dementia. I am also the last person you would think as a caregiver, but when the doctors told me my mother could no longer live alone, I was drafted. I left my life and moved back home to Chicago. My plan was to stay for only 2 to 3 weeks. In that time, I would just take care of business and organize things. I also planned on hiring a couple part-time caregivers to check in on my mother, and then I'd return back to California. But it didn't work out that way. I stayed. I was somewhat intrigued. My mother, who was always a force to be reckoned with in our family, she changed. That woman who was the boss of everything breathing wasn't there anymore. I wasn't used to this, and I really didn't know how to react. My entire daughterness was colored by our issues. It's who I was. My rebelliousness, my insecurities, my defensiveness, it was all part of my makeup. Her memory loss was changing my identity, not hers. And now, what am I supposed to do? I have no issues with this stranger in front of me. She didn't know my name or that I was her daughter. No, this little woman was going way deeper than the surface of things. She was getting close to a woman inside of me that I hardly knew myself. That was scary. I eventually let go of that daughter that I thought I was supposed to be and became my mother's new friend daily. Not sure, but something happened during my stay in Dementialand that I'm still trying to figure out.
As a producer and as a writer, when I try to decide whether I want to take on a topic, whether I want to take on a story, I mean, obviously there's several questions that you ask yourself, what is the story about? How is it relevant? Who are the protagonists, etc., etc. Does it strike the zeitgeist? And apart from it being a story that is visually wonderful, and looks at it from a completely different angle. I'll give you an example. Roberto Benigni's Life is Beautiful was one of these experiences for me, which, obviously deals with a very, very tough and a very, very heavy topic, but dares to look at it from a different angle. And I think what you did with Wonders in Dementialand is exactly the same. You have such a rich, and not only rich, but original view on things, completely unique. Almost any situation, there was not one page in the book that I flipped around and thought, well, you know what? I've read this somewhere in a similar way. Zip, nada. It never happened.